at UCT, we have been thinking about what is the role and contribution of a speech therapist in creating a more fair and just society through our work in communication and swallowing. And we have a 4-year undergrad curriculum, which means that it includes a year for honours. As a speech therapist, there are 2 key things that we focus on: communication and swallowing. And we understand that communication is about how we make meaning in the world, and that can be done through listening, speaking, reading, writing, a number of different modalities. In terms of feeding and swallowing, that includes the pathologies of swallowing that we deal with, but we also understand that feeding and swallowing is more than just the skill of doing that. It is about how we build connection with one another, because eating is very much cultural, it's social in how we connect with one another.
It is so fundamental to every human interaction and to our well-being. And it's more than just being able to speak to other people. It's gestural, it's written, it's visual, it's even tangible. It's in everything. Everything is being communicated to us all the time, whether we realize it or not.
What I love about speech pathology specifically is that it's so diverse. When I tell people that I'm a speech therapist, they would say, "Oh, so you fix lisps." And it's just so much more than that. What our name, speech therapist, doesn't do us justice. There's a whole different aspect of it where we go into hospitals and we help people rehabilitate their feeding and swallowing issues. For example, if you've had a stroke and now all of a sudden you wake up and it's difficult to swallow, and every time you swallow you're coughing on your food, and it impacts so much. But I love what speech therapists' main focus is. Even though there's all these different aspects, it all comes down to communication.
So on a typical day, you would go to clinics either from 8 to 12, or you go from 8 to 4, which is like the whole day. So you just do your practicals. For example, you're placed at a hospital and you work there the whole day, and then you come back. Sometimes if you have it 8 to 12, you come back, you have a lecture or you have a TUT. And then in your evenings, you can have free evenings or spend your time however you want. Or sometimes what I normally do, I prepare for the next clinic or for the next day.
So in 4th year, we've done a lot of clinical practice where every day is a clinical day, and we go into a hospital or a school, or we go to communities and we help people with their communication or swallowing needs. We work with everyone. So we work with children, maybe children who are have autistic spectrum disorder, who are nonverbal, and so it's a lot of playing with them. It's not always very straightforward, and you have to think on your feet and adapt to the environment, to whatever they're doing, and follow their lead, and just remembering what you are trying to achieve with them, and like integrating that into the session.
There are many different opportunities for work as speech therapists. So some speech therapists work in more clinical settings like hospitals or clinics or private practices. Some work in more educational settings like creches or schools. Others work in more of like a public sector like NGOs. Others have focused more on research. Some of us work in educational settings like educating future speech therapy practitioners, and some have also moved into more of like corporate roles as well.
I think the one thing that our degree is that it's something that empowers you to make a difference in other people's lives and make an actual impact. If you really love the science of the human body, but you also love helping people and making a difference in their lives, this is the perfect career. This is the perfect degree, because it has the perfect blend of both of those. And I think as someone that does have a passion for helping people and also is always curious about the human body, there's a lot to learn. And like I said, it's quite broad, but it's very rewarding. So I'd say that's the advice I have. Go for it. It's amazing.
I would encourage any and everybody to join speech therapy, because at the end of the day, communication is about connection, and the best way for someone to connect to someone else is for them to have the same cultural experiences or the same backgrounds. And with the more diversity that we have with the type of people who's coming into speech therapy, the more access people will have to really optimal intervention in their own home language or with people that they can relate to better. There's not one type of person that can be a speech therapist because everybody needs a speech therapist, and I would love for someone one day to experience that connection with someone who understands them.